What is up, everybody? John here, aka Four Scars Gaming, and today we're going to take a look at the brand new wine making simulator, 100 Days. This game just came out a couple of days ago, and I thought I'd go ahead and stream it for everybody. There seems to be a lot of interest. This is not a lot of these strategy management type games on Stadia. And I'll have to admit to everybody here, I'm not a wine connoisseur. I know absolutely nothing about wine. But I tried the game out last night, played it for a couple hours, and I can tell you that I'm already hooked on it. Even though I know nothing about winemaking, this helps you and steps you through it every little bit of the way. And the gameplay loop in this, it's just so, it's relaxing and very addicting. So if you like these strategy management type games, I really think that you'll be interested in 100 Days here. So while we're getting it booted up, we'll just give everyone a shout out in the chat. I see Predalord here. Eli. Hey, Eli, how you doing? Let's see. Yes, Danny. Oh, we got Chris is here. Let's see. Robert, Gunter, Andy. Hey, Andy, how are you doing? And I also see, oh, I don't even know how to pronounce it correctly. We'll just go with Hood. So thank you all for coming out, and to anyone else that I missed the shout out in the chat. And here's 100 days. So when you start the game for the very first time, oh, and by the way, you can use, as with any Stadia game, mouse and keyboard. I played both ways using keyboard and mouse and controller. I really didn't have any problems with the controller, which I'm using right now. So when you start the game here, it'll ask you to, well, let's go through it here. You can go ahead and create your profile and your winery name. So we'll go through here. We'll call it, oh, let's see. We'll call it the Scarmy. Okay, and we'll go through here. And now we can change our logo here. You can see that has a wide variety. I selected the moose for Canada, but this time, how about we'll go with the wolf here. So that's pretty cool. We can change the different colors. I mean, you really can get into it if you like. Change the backgrounds. Oh, there you go. We'll have a nice little crest there. And sure. Okay. Let's see all the different colors here. Okay, so there you go. Now let's go ahead and confirm. So now we've got Scarmy here. And the game has a couple of different modes. It's what I'll be showing off today is story mode. And then we've got endless mode, and there's a challenge mode here. So as you can see, there's a bunch of different challenges, and you go and try to complete those challenges based upon the different specifics. You can see this one here. It's got a 250 turn limit, the amount of money you need to make, the quality of your wine, and so forth. So we won't be looking at that. And of course, endless mode is just playing on forever. And here's story mode. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with the story mode here. Now, there is a little bit of voicing in it, but then there's also a lot that's not voiced. So I'm not going to read everything. We'll just kind of maybe just give you the gist of it. And if you're interested in reading it, you can read it on the screen. Always go back in the replay. But yeah, so here we go. 100 days. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can speed run this game, Eli. Okay, so as it's explaining here, so you're starting off. The story mode is you're a girl in London who's going to be inheriting a winery. So you know, you're starting off at your boring company, your 9-to-5 job here. So every action that you need to do, you need to move the card onto the playing field. So let's go ahead here. And you can see the board represents the daytime, each activity, and so forth. You can rotate them to make sure, you know, they fit and whatnot. Okay. So we're gonna say we wanna check our email, and you'll look here. Let the rotate. No, we don't have room for it. Okay, so we are going to carry on. In the bottom right-hand corner, beside my shoulder here, you'll see there's the next turn. So we're going to hit Y. Okay, and we're going to check the inbox again here. And again, I don't have room. Let me see. Do we have room to fit this in? You know, if you like Tetris 2, you'll be... Look, we do. Tetris puzzles here, the puzzle pieces to get the most bang for your buck. And let's go. And we're gonna open the mail. So at first here, when I first started out, I was kind of like, This is strange. I really don't get it. But once you get into the game, you'll see the flow. And it does become quite addicting. Okay, so now it tells you here that you have a special result. And you can see that when it's flashing, we're going to click on it up here. There's a letter. What could the letter be?
My dearest Emma, I doubt you remember me. My name is Beppe and I am an enologist. Winemaking has ruled my life as a tyrant, devouring any free time I had, until I have reached the end of my journey, still chasing the perfect wine. There is a long list of winemakers who would be happy to inherit my lands, but this time I will rebel against what is logical or due. While we need to treasure our tradition, we also need to make room for innovative solutions, newcomers to fill our ranks. I want you to run my business and become a winemaker. It's not going to be easy, but I promise you it will be worth it. Your vineyards await.
And the adventure begins. 100 days. Okay, so from here on, this is where it goes. It's not voiced. So basically, you've come to town to claim your vineyards, and here's your next door neighbor, Anna. It's like, oh, nice to meet. And Anna's all excited to see you and very happy and welcoming. And she's like, oh, I heard so much from you. I'm like, really? So Anna's here to help you. She's that first person that you contact with, and she gets involved in the story here as we go through the game. She's just asking, how you doing? How was your journey? You must be tired. Unpacking. The flight was delayed. You know, just small talk here. Hey, Joe, Lord Vivek, Ian, thanks so much for dropping in, guys. And so basically, as you're taking over this winery here, you're like, I have no idea what to do. I'm going in totally like clueless. And Anna just reassures you that she'll help you and do everything that's needed so that you're successful. And as you can see here, she says, well, I'll help you as time goes on. I'll not to overwhelm you with everything at once. I'll pass you notes on how to do things and how to use basically what you need to do. Yeah, overwhelmed for sure. But I never really, I'm be honest with you, I've played for about maybe 4 to 5 hours. I never really felt overwhelmed. There were a few things that I didn't pick up on until later on, but definitely the game really helps you walk you through it and teaches you what you need to do. Hey, Carmelo, my buddy, you're coming out to see it. A true winemaking sim. Okay, so now Anna's saying, oh, I'll give you some help here and suggest somebody, and now they're just chit-chatting about it, meeting everybody in town and whatnot, introducing you to some of the characters, and in this instance talking about bakery and whatnot. And you're like, well, how do I find Tio? So there's no really like hunting or whatever. The game kind of like, I mean, you'll see here, like you don't really have to go and hunt to find somebody. Anna just being the nice neighbor and friend, offering for a pedicure later after they've got all settled in and whatnot. She's like, breathe in, smell the air. Can you smell it? And they're like, smell what? It's so funny. Okay, so let's go on here. All right, so here we are at our screen. There's our buddy here, Tio. It's like, howdy. Yep, that's Tio. That would be me. Great, we spoke on the phone yesterday. I need your help. So he's here ready to help you. And basically you're like, oh, I'm kind of scared. I really have no idea what I'm doing. You can see there's our duck down in the pond there, which I'll get to here, and we'll name it. I promised Joe that I'd name the first duck after him. So basically you've heard this farm and everyone says, oh, he was such a nice man and everything. And you're like, well, I really have no idea. Okay, so yeah, let's get started here. Winer bus. Yeah, Lord Vivek, I don't even drink wine either. So after playing this game, even for the 4 to 5 hours, I'm actually interested in the farming simulator games now. Whereas before, I kind of like just brushed it off and like, you know, I would never have any interest in that. I'm gonna go back and play farming sim that was released, and definitely this fall when the new one comes out, I'll be playing that as well. Okay, so they're just chit-chatting here. Basically, I'm telling them, you know, I don't even have a green thumb whatsoever. I can't keep any plants alive, and then I'm really discouraged. They're making a little joke about, I can hook you up with a florist. Good old Anna, our friend, the town gossiper and the busybody. She knows everybody. She's really nice in the story. Okay, so here we go for the basics. Agreed. I wonder if I should charge Joe 200 Scarbucks for naming the duck after him. What does everybody think in the chat? Should we take 200 Scarbucks away from Joe just for naming the duck? Okay, so now he's telling us about weeding. It gives you a little bit of background of why you want to be doing, you know, the weeding, what's for it. Joe. Yeah, it says, great, let's just pretend weeds are houseplants and it'll work like a charm. Okay. So now you can see here, here's the interface. I'm using, again, the controller. So we've got our winery on board, a tool shed, a warehouse. And these are the one crop that I have. And these are other pieces of land that I can end up buying. But let's see. Oh, we've got a duck here. And of course, we want to give our duck a name. So the first thing I'm going to do is I put that on here, and let's give our duck a name. Oh, here it is. And I saw Joe in the chat say nobody calls him Joey except a nice old lady neighbor. Well, here we go, Joey. You could be Joey the duck. Good job. Okay. So now a little bit else that we're going to look on the screen here. We can see in the top right-hand corner, there's a notification. And Eli, I can name the second duck John Cena. The notification saying that there's a journal update. So I'm going to go over here and take a look at the journal update. Okay, so in the journal here, you can see on the left that there's the letter that we got about our initial letter about that we inherited this business here. And then now it's going to give you some background on the season. So we're starting in summer. It's summer 2021. And it's just telling you about summer and new leaves, and the heat could dry out the ground, and just, some background on it. So you can read through that. And we'll go ahead and close that, and I'll get rid of the notification there. Okay, so now we're going to head on. Oh, look, I see Joey's swimming around, having fun. Okay, let's see. We're going to name our other duck here. There's Joey. How about we name our other duck? Okay, we'll name it John Cena just for Eli. John. I should name it you. Let's see. Oops. Well, it helps. John Cena. There we go. So we were going to have Joey and John Cena. Two fun little ducks there swimming in the pond. In my initial play, I named it Carmelo and Adam. Okay, so we finished the weeding. And you'll see the number on each of those blocks tells you how many turns that it goes through here for each thing to complete. So Teo's like, okay, well, that went well. They're talking, yeah, you weeded everything out, got all the cobwebs. All right, so what's next? What do we need to do next? So now we've got crop thinning. And the good thing is all these different steps that they tell you, that it's documented in your journal, so you can always refer to those easily. Okay, so now we've got to thin our crops here. And they're just kind of just joking a bit, oh, why are they dying and whatnot. Baby steps, baby steps. And they're, you're kind of questioning, well, why do we have to thin the crops? And it gives you the reason why, to achieve yield and quality goals. Okay. Just more banter back and forth. And just an explanation again as to why this is happening, and it's a tradition. And a little bit of backstory and whatnot. Yeah, Finding Dory. I could have put that as the Duck Dory. Yep, so I was just telling you about the yield and the flowers, and you need to prune them or thin them, because pruning is something different. Like, oh, no, who knows? Just a friend of mine. And it's, again, now telling you here the yield is a measure of the amount of grapes or wine that's produced per unit surface of the vineyard. Talk about writing it down. Like I said, this all becomes very natural to you the more you go through it and play it. At first, you might think, well, I don't know what to do. But, you go through it and it just becomes second nature. You get into a rhythm. Okay, so there's a crop thinning. And now you can see, so it tells me Brico, that's the little bit of land that I own there. And it's going to take 2 turns. And I also was told up here that the summer is ending. And if we go up to our book, there's a little map. Okay, so we don't have anything more in the journal, but look, here we are. We've got our vineyard activities. It tells you, here's the process and what you need to do. Red wine making process, and it all comes to you here. Like, at first you might think, oh, well, I'm never going to remember this, but just giving you, showing you a little bit about it, and if your crops get some disease and what you need to do. And so these are the different wines that you're making: the Chardonnay, Barbera. These other ones I can't even pronounce, so I'm not even going to try. And it already, it gives you some insight here as to, okay, well, these certain characteristics where it's the star, it means, okay, this is where you need it to be. And some of it's trial and error, I'll be honest with you too. Okay, so we're going to start with the next one here. Hey, game on with Tony. It is a recipe for success. Okay, so now we're in the autumn. New season, so I'll get rid of that here. And we've got a journal update. So now it's going to tell you about autumn. It's transforming the color palette of the vineyard and whatnot, and what happens here. So we're good there. And you can also, if you like, you can zoom out to get a better view of the playing field. There's Joey and John Cena having fun in the little pond there. And there's a truck delivering. There's the tractor up in the top left-hand corner. And you can zoom in to get a better view of the action, all depending on what you're doing. Okay. So here, we've got nothing else to do today. We've got $34,000. And you can see each little bit will cost you, so you've got to balance that money, and you'll see you'll be able to upgrade things. Ian, I really, like, when I first heard about this game, I was like, I'm not really interested in it. But the more I was looking at it and I saw it, and I was like, I'll give this a try. And no, it's a different type, and it's just something different from the norm. It's actually quite relaxing and soothing. You can see the music in the background here. You can hear the wind blowing and the gentle music, and it's pretty fun. Okay, so now they're saying, okay, well, what's next? Well, it's autumn, fall. Now we have to harvest. Of course, Tio says, I'll give you your help. You're never left here wondering what to do. Yeah, it is very relaxing. So now it's saying, okay, well, now you have to hire, I think it's oenologist, I don't know how to pronounce it, to help with the harvesting. So it gets very complex. It's not just picking the grapes and there you go. You need somebody specific that's got the knowledge and is trained and studied in this. So Gianni here. We're like, okay, yeah, Gianni's the best. Okay. So again, here, look, you can see harvest. This tells you exactly what it is. Tells you the shape of the block. Tells you it's going to take 3 days, so 3 turns to run, and it needs to be sunny in order to do it. Okay. So we go here, and look at this. It takes up the whole board right away. Like, oh boy. There's Gianni. You're late. He's kind of grumpy here, but in the story you find out there's a reason for it. And Gianni's like, you know, you don't know anything, but you need to make sure that you're focused on this, and otherwise there's dire results. See, already Johnny's got his attitude, but there, like I said, there's a reason for it. Basically saying, well, Tio told me you're the best, so... He's like, oh, well, I heard you just recently moved here from London, and you know absolutely nothing about winemaking. Like, yeah, basically, yeah. And she says, hey, Mr. Sunshine. So Johnny says, oh, I promised the old man, which I think it's your grandfather. He's keeping his word. So basically, he doesn't really want to help, but he promised, so... Yeah, just cut the crap out. Okay, just give you more background here about the harvest. You can do it by hand or mechanically. Johnny with the smart remarks. You're like, yeah, what's wrong with you? Okay, so let's go. Like, is someone waiting for us in the cellar? Ah, just your future as a winemaker. Okay. So we're gonna go to the next turn here. Everybody's just doing their work. You see the tractors and whatnot moving up and around town. Well, not around town, around the vineyard. Okay, look. Oh, there's an action. I see Death alive in here. Hey, Death. Thanks for coming out. Oh, here's my first batch. I'm going to vinify the grapes. So the quality is good. Pretty good quantity, too. Okay, so I've got a fiberglass tank. All right, next we have to crush them. Of course, he's like, I can't believe you survived your first season. Giovanni Scaro. Oh, that's a good one. Hey, they should have a tomato sauce making sim, and Carmelo could host it. I had some of his tomato sauce. He gave me some, oh, I think it's probably been about a year ago now, that he made at home with the old ancient Italian traditions, and it was fantastic. Okay, so he's like, I'm not messing around, I'm just being harsh on you. Okay, so what's next? So we have to crush them now, the grapes. He's like, yeah, there's more, you know, not just picking the grapes. Johnny likes to choose the sunflower seeds, so there's random jokes and references to about sunflower seeds all over throughout the story. Okay, so now we have to crush the grapes. Sounds easy. And I like what he says here. Now, before you start smashing the grapes like a barbarian, it's a gentle process. It's not as easy as most people think. Tells you we'll apply pressure to the grapes to allow the juices free access to the yeast, tannins, and characteristics of the skin. He's like, ah, show off. Oh, Bruce, break time. You have a little bit of Chardonnay. Thanks for coming, Bruce. Now you're busy today, so I do appreciate that. Now everybody, I appreciate everybody coming out, checking out 100 Days with me here this Friday afternoon, maybe be Friday evening for some, and maybe even a late Friday morning for others. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna crush those grapes. All right. Oh, so here we are. It's winter of 2022 already. No beer making, Big Daddy. Oh, Lord. Okay. So now that we're in the process of making our wine here, you just tell me about reading up on, they always refer to it as the old man. Like I said, I assume it's a grandfather. Like, oh, I'm still not clear. It's a lot to take in. Now we're talking about pruning. Oh, too early to prune. Okay, and it's just not, you know, reading a couple of books there is... Okay, so we've got 2 journal updates here, and this is where stuff begins to unlock. Okay, so you have there's another menu here which we'll go through, and it's telling me there's technologies there. So tells you for pruning, to open the menu, go to the technology panel and select an upgrade for the board. So we're going to clear that, and here we go. So at first you might say, oh wow, what is all this? Danny, thank you so much. Cup of coffee there. I appreciate that on this wondrous Friday afternoon. Okay. Thank you again, everybody. Okay. So here's our technologies board here. And the first thing is that they're asking me for the pruning that we need to upgrade the board. So as you can see on the bottom there, it tells you, well, for $500 that it's going to add that extra space so that we have here. So we're going to say buy, and this here, so this we can further upgrade by allowing to do even more cards. So I'm not 100% sure. We just did the 1 upgrade. Let's see if that's enough. And we're going to check out the journal update. Okay, so we selected the upgrade for the board. Okay. So we're now 2022. Yeah, okay. So as you can see, I could have further upgraded the board there for 20,000, but right now we're going to keep it simple. And here we go. Yeah, beer will be the DLC. Huh? You never know. That would be awesome. There's Teo coming back here. He's like, how's it working with Gianni? And it's just like, yeah, this is... he's a character, so to speak. And they're saying, well, no, don't take it personally. Yep, he is a good man. All right, and he's the best person for the job. Okay, talking back and forth here, saying basically Gianni's rude and he's treating me mean. Okay, so here we go. Oh, finally time to prune the vines. Pruning is all about removing the unwanted and unneeded parts of the grapevine. Okay. Princess Pruner. And then Teo goes back and says, oh, Princess Pruner should know that vines can be trained with different styles. So again, you can unlock those different styles of pruning techniques. Yes, I'm Princess Pruner, the Vineyard Whisperer. Okay, so it's telling you here that when you're pruning, the less buds, you'll have a better quality of wine. The more buds, you'll have more quantity of wine. So you've got to, depending on what your orders or what's being required, you've got to balance that. What do you want to do? Do you want to have a lot more wine to sell, but it's not as good, or less wine, higher quality to sell? There you go. Quality versus quantity. All right. Okay. So I'm going to go with, there's a medium here. We'll play it safe here, and we'll go with medium. And I think we're ready to go. I'm just looking here. Yep. We're done with that turn. Oh, and here's the fermentation. All right, so let's get that down. So again, as these are the first times that we're going through this, the game is explaining it to you here, step by step. And once they tell you here, you don't have to go through these, that particular screen again. You can always reference your journal. I love it. Gianni calls me London. Okay, so here he goes telling you about the fermentation. You just banter back and forth. Yeah, okay, London. Pay close attention. So it tells you about crushing, about being gentle, burst of skin, released. So fermentation is the next step. The yeast converts the grape sugars into alcohol. Okay, so Johnny's kind of warming up to you a little bit here. So fermentation affects the body, the sweetness, the tannin, and the acidity, depending upon the grape variety that you have, which is the Barbera. Okay. Basically, Gianni's old school here, and he does it based upon tradition. There you go. Clear as mud. Okay, so basically, here we go. He's going to spill the beans. Okay, so here he's telling you here that you really want to have tannin of 2 and the sweetness of 2. Okay. So it looks like here we have, I mean, it's already set. You can see by the fermentation length, the longer it goes, the more alcohol content it has, and the sweetness goes down. So he said the sweetness of 2 and the tannin of 2. So to me, that's that looks good, right? Okay. And so now that was the affects that. So you can see here, this different pump over punch down will tell you, okay, so if I do 2 per day, the tannin's going to go up to 3, which we don't want. He said 2, so we can keep it at 1 per day, and we'll see how that goes. Yep, that's right. And the music it's really relaxing, and when you have the headphones on, or you get into the game, it's just like, wow. Helps you relieve stress. Okay, so here we go. I'm looking around the board here. Nothing else to do, so I'm gonna end that. Hey, BX Latino Heat, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so now we've got one more turn. All right, and here we go. It's time to press. So we can rotate this to fit. And here's Gianni back again. He says you look tired. Actually, yeah, I'm pretty tired. I'm not tired, I'm fermented. Blimey. You're basically like, I'm here for the long haul. I'm not giving up. Pressing, which is a process where juice is extracted from the grapes. He's like, no, it's not just that easy. Increase the press intensity and you'll get more wine. Decrease and you'll get less but better wine. Okay, so, and then again, the press affects the body and tannin. So we know that what our parameters are. And then he's like, well, I know your generation isn't particularly keen on reading. Okay. So, let's see. The wine, so the quality is good there. Look, and you can see that changes, goes from good to average. So I'm going to say, let's do the traits here. We're going to go back and look. Body, we've got 3 for the body, 2 for sweetness. Oh, the tannin. Let's see. That does affect the tannin there. So really, I'm going with 0 here to keep it low. Very high quality. Okay. Let's move on to the next. Oh, winter's over. Uh-oh, you know, it's the springtime. So, oh, look, it's raining now. Like, I'm from London, I know all about rain. So when it's raining, certain things that you can't do. Say, oh, do you want a cup of tea? Double espresso would do. Okay. Ah, here's Gianni again. So we're going to start bottling. It's the final stage of the winemaking process. Oh, thank you so much. We got a new subscriber there. It looks like it says John. Thanks for subscribing, John. Okay, so now we've got to bottle our wine. Of course, it's not just as simple as throwing it in the bottle and putting a cork in it. Okay, so Johnny's like, well, you got to make sure that you do this right because someone's going to be drinking it. Tells you about the cork quality and whatnot. Okay, so let's inspect the bottles. So we can do winemaking here. All right, so this is where, again, you can get in it if you like. And you know what I did here? If you're in Canada, you'll recognize this here. If you're Canadian, we're gonna have Molson. They make beer here in Canada, but now we're gonna have Molson wine. And we can go back and we can say, let's see, we can make it square, the different types of labels. We can have the different color for Molson. Look, in the closure, we want screw cap, glass, cork. I'm going with cork. So there we go. Some Molson Canadian wine. Okay. All right. So let's go. So we hear, oh, there's another journal update. Tells us about spring. Okay. It tells us, oh, after pressing, how much wine we had. Look at that. Oh, here's Anna. Say, oh, Anna, I've been so busy here at the vineyard. Gianni is such a pain. It's like, no, I wasn't avoiding you. How about Gianni's a loner? Okay, so just telling them, oh, we just finished bottling our first wine. There's like, who's? Satoshi? I was like, girl, have you ever left the house? Says, no, Johnny says I've got to put my nose to the grindstone. It's like, tell me about it. So, that's an owner of a wine bar in town. She's like, oh, let's go. Let's have him taste it. She's like, oh, as an expat, she feels like she's a loner, out of place coming back. She's like, oh, don't be crazy. You're welcome here. Okay. So, we're going to have some wine tasting. And then we've got some weeding to do. Oops. Oh, and see, look, I don't have a spot to put that. So while we're here, let's see. What's Joey up to? How you doing, Joey? Oh, there he is. Joey gave us a quack. How about John Cena? I think I can see him. Oh, Joey and John doing good. Okay. Oh, look at that. Our first bottles of Molson wine. Look at that. We got a rating of 74 out of 100. So that's almost 4 full stars. And the suggestion is that needs more body. And this wine rating is important because your customers will have specific requirements of, well, we want this type of wine with this minimum rating and whatnot. So we say, okay, good. We'll go up to the journal here. And look, so now you can see in the Barbera, okay, so we know we want the sweetness at 2, the tannin at 2, and the typicity all the way over there. And the body, we know it's not 2, so that's scribbled out there. Okay. So let's get some suckering in here. And we're ready to go. Let's go to the next turn here. Chris is saying, meanie. I'm on. How you doing? Our fantasy life. You know what? So this caught my eye too. I'm thinking of doing, making a series of videos for the story mode here. So today we're getting that first look at it. So I'm thinking of just doing some commentary-free videos of the entire story mode. And if I remember, it's not too long. It's maybe a couple hours or something like that. So maybe a series of 4 to 5 30-minute videos, something like that. People can get an idea. Like it's at first, like I did, you would say, I'm not really interested in this game, but it's very relaxing and fun. Oh, here we are at our wine bar downtown. It's like, do you have a reservation? No, Anna told me to stop on by. Of course, it's very welcoming. Sam, I heard so much about you. And of course, you're very nervous here that, you know, your first bottles of wine and what it's going to taste like. And is it going to taste like crap since you really don't know what you're doing? Oh, there's our kitty. Meow. Now they have the duck sounds, but not the cat sounds. Maybe they'll add that. Oh, kitty. So I guess you can pet the cat, but you don't see it. And Barrick, the cat. So you're just saying, oh, your wine bar is cozy. I really like it. Yep, this is my first wine, everybody. I'm not too confident in myself. He's like, okay, your science is killing me. What does it taste like? Be honest with me here. And he's like, oh, this is actually pretty good. I'm sorry, are you trying to pull the wool over my eyes? No, it's good, it's good. Anna was right about you. Let's celebrate. Okay, so now you're like, yes, I feel good about myself now. My hard work has actually paid off, and yes, I can do this. All right, so here's the journal update. Now, so here we are, we're progressing wine orders. Wow, our wine's getting attention. We have our first orders. So we're gonna open up that menu, and we're gonna select orders, and we're gonna take a look at the orders that we have here. Okay. So that is our X button up there, and see there's the technologies tab. So here's our wine orders. We've already got some orders for our Molson wine here, 2021 special inaugural brew, limited edition. All right, so we got that. We got that. Okay. It's time to start making some money. Oh. Let's see, who's this? Carlo. Not Carmelo, Carlo. And Carlo is a journalist. We're just finding out about Emma and that's us. We're new to the area. Carlo wants to interview us. So he's a wine journalist. Specializes in wine. A connoisseur, I suppose, as well. He was like, oh, well, I would like to interview her. Do you think it would be interesting? So he's going to come out and check, make some connections here, and let's see. And there's the comments about Gianni, his own personal Moby Dick. That is true, Andy. Yep, it's true. It's surprising. Like I said, if you like these types of games, the management, the sim types, this is really up your alley. And even if you don't, I would say, depending on how interested you're in it, really give it a try and a chance here. It surprised me. Like, I woke up this morning like, oh, I need to play 100 Days again before I start work and before the stream. Okay, so he's going to have a little bit of a taste here. Meow. Okay. All right, so look at this. It's summertime. We've got 2 new orders. Oh, yeah, baby. Sell, sell, sell. Okay. So now here is, you can start to, okay, so we're starting to make money. So we're going to need to invest that into certain things like, let's say, the board. So we can spend 20,000 to be able to do more cards. We've got 28,000 to be able to have more turns and more cards. We also have things like our tool shed, which we can unlock. We can do different types of wine. We have the cleaning room. We can buy a tractor. And see, so you can, there's basically a skill tree here to start upgrading your winery. But we'll go right now. We got those orders filled. And let's see. I think we're going to go ahead and upgrade the board here. I'm going to go over to technologies, and I think it's well worth the 20,000. It's expensive, I know, but it'll more than pay for itself. Okay. Oh, so look here from the wine bar. Satoshi is here. Come for a visit. He's like, how are things, Emma? Oh, no sabotage. Yeah, sabotage your competitor's wine. Oh, well, Ian, there's some sabotaging that does go on in the story. I'm not going to spoil it. I have about 5 more minutes in the stream here. Just a nice afternoon, lunchtime, late morning, after supper stream here to give you a first look at the game. And like I said, I'm going to be making playthrough videos of this, so it'll be quite interesting. You'll be able to see what goes on in the story here. Talking about being an outsider. They're just saying, oh, you're opening up your new place. People are really taking to you. Oh, and he wants to be a client. He wants to buy our wine. She's like, yes, yes, yes. Team Outsiders for the win. It was like, Emma's like, are you sure you won't damage your reputation? Don't worry about it. Oh, now he's talking about his friend Carlo wants to interview us. Like, oh, interview me? Why? I don't really have anything to say. Say, oh, well, it'd be interesting. Okay. So we've got 2 orders here. Sell. I think there's our complete orders. And I'm going to end. Okay. So here we go. So we've got crop thinning. So we're going to place that here. And I've got a new order I'm going to sell. But we also have a special order. So you can see this person here's a special order. And there we go. We're going to sell. Their minimum requirement is a 30 rating. That's okay. We've got 74. Okay. So let's before we move on, I was going to move on here. Let's go in and let's take a look at the winery itself inside here. So now you can see here's our tanks, and it gives you a progress bar of the usage and the wear and tear. So it looks like it needs a cleaning. So you hit on this for cleaning. It's going to give you a card. And if you ignore that, then the stuff breaks down and basically it stops your production. We don't have any barrels. Oh, look at this. The bottling machine, it needs some cleaning. The crusher needs cleaning. It's dirty. Presses. I mean, we've been using it, so it's not going to stay clean forever. And you can also, look, you can go to the shop here. And once my winery, I can see in the top corner there, it says it's level 1 and it's unlocked. So I can up the level, and that means I will be able to buy even more items to make even better wine. But for right now, we won't go into that. And look at this. I've got 4 cards here for cleaning. You can see having a bigger board, even this isn't enough for what I need to do. Let's see. Might not have been the best spot to put it, but you know, c'est la vie, that's life. Okay, so let's go on to the next one here. Oh boy, I don't have another. We're gonna close it. Okay, so let's put a cleaning on here. We're coming to the end of our first look. So let's see. Autumn. Okay, so what I'm going to do here. So now, look, we've got a tool shed. I'm going to show you. In the tool shed, there's vehicles you can buy. I don't have anything there in shop, so we can buy the tractor to help us, you know, cultivate and get the grapes. All these different items here. Cutters that and trimmers and trailers that help expand the rooms. There's a repair for all your machinery and whatnot. Here's our warehouse. So this is where obviously where we're going to store our Molson wine. And again, you can shop. Look, you can have a pallet, you can have a shelf. So if I want to buy, look at that, that way all my wine doesn't go to waste. You can expand it by buying a room. And look, you can buy, once you get further on, it says, oh, well, you should do this. You can buy adjoining property here, and this is when you buy the land. You're like, okay, well, what type of grapes? We already have one piece of land here that's Barbera, so let's Chardonnay. So we're going to say, well, because everybody likes a different kind of wine, right? So we're going to go down there, and you can buy that and purchase that. You can also go up here. Let's see. The winery. again, here's the map. You can, just to give you an idea of what it's like. And there's, again, that soothing music, the seasons, your ideas here, and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to back out here to the main menu. And that's our first look at 100 days. So I'm curious to hear from people in the chat what you thought about this. What are your first initial impressions of 100 days? Is it what you thought it would be? Is it better or worse? Are you surprised at it? Let me know what you think, and if that, something like this is a type of game that you normally play or you don't play. Or maybe are you interested in it now? Has this piqued your interest? Would you like me to make those gameplay videos of the story here? Give you an idea of what goes on. Yeah, Andy, surprised and happy. That's good to hear. I know I saw Ian earlier mention about the game, the soothing music. Robert, yeah, thought it looked dumb at first, but now you want to play it. Yeah, it's the same here. And if you play it on your computer or your laptop, you can use the mouse and keyboard. It's a little bit different interface, but they did a really good job with the controller itself. Pecan Fusion, so it's not really his cup of tea. Predalord, you're welcome. You're welcome, welcome, welcome. Danny wants to see more. Well, Danny, definitely I will be making those videos, so I'll get them out probably over the next couple of days here and post them, and make sure everybody you're subscribed, hit the bell, and you'll know when those go live. Don't forget to hit that like button today for me. I really do appreciate it. So let's see, Ian here, he says it seems really relaxing so far. He doesn't normally go for the sim games, but he'd be interested in watching the story videos if I make them. Oh, that is fantastic. Same with Chris. Chris will watch as well. All right, well, thank you so much, everybody. I'm glad you poured a glass of your finest wine and spent the last hour with me here, taking a look at 100 days. And something else that you noticed here on the title screen here, I'm not quite sure why. We've got two characters down there in the bottom, but they're buck naked. I don't know why. It's nothing to do with the story. Maybe it means something, I'm not sure, but that was just something I found that was kind of funny as well. Maybe it's just there to make you laugh as well. Lord Vivek, one more turn. Well, you can bet, Lord Vivek, that I will be playing more after I finish the stream here. Joe, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming out. You got your duck name after you, Joey. So that's so good. You'll be forever immortalized in the gaming scarmy. So again, thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate it. Take care, and I will get streams scheduled out for next week. I will get them posted in the Discord, and I will also tweet those out. Make sure you check 4 Scars Gaming. I've got a post there for a link to all my contests. So we have multiple contests running. Make sure you enter. Good luck to all. Everybody have a fantastic rest of the day, and we'll see you real soon. Thanks again.